We may know about it back in January, but Rangers have finally made a summer transfer signing. Welcome back to Fog Football. Lyall Cameron in through the door. St Mirren have signed a Jamaican international, and Celtic are interested in a Japanese centre back. Welcome back to the channel. Are you ready? Are you not entertained? Rangers, the 49ers, finally doing business, even though you could argue it was probably the old board, brother, that did the signing, because Lyall Cameron, it's a pre-contract. We knew this was going to happen all the way back in the winter transfer window. As for Lyall Cameron, he's come out, he said the right things, as you would expect him to say, but I believe that Lyall Cameron will be a success. And if Nico Raskin goes, that's going to leave a hole in that Rangers midfield, and someone's got to step up to take it. Is it going to be him? Is it going to be Barron? Is it going to be Bailey Rice? Well, it's a triple threat match, isn't it? I think Lyall Cameron's favourite.
Well, absolutely. Someone needs to step up and be counted, and it could be Lyall Cameron. I think this is a good signing for Rangers. Yeah, we've known about it for a while. He's kind of went under the radar at Dundee. I think you look at his performances last season, they were pretty good. Obviously, yeah, Dundee were in that relegation battle, and maybe that's why Lyall Cameron's not getting... I get it, because look, you've got Luke McCowan, who was Dundee's best player the season before. He leaves on the back of a top six finish, and there just seemed to be a lot more hype around Luke McCowan. Whereas Lyall Cameron, who was Dundee's best player this season, he's leaving after a relegation fight. And I do think McCowan's a little bit better than Cameron, but see, I still think he's a good player. I think he'll be a good signing for Rangers.
23 goal contributions in 41 appearances for Dundee. I think that's fantastic.
Well, absolutely.
And we're not talking about a guy here. He's number 9 and he's all midfielder, man, banging in goals, banging in assists. No brainer. Now, maybe we'll find out in a couple of months that Rangers owe Dundee a compensation fee like they did with Connor Barron, but as of right now, it's free. And it appears that it's going to be a good move to me. I think he'll have a successful Rangers career, but we'll move on for Lyall Cameron because he's already been talked to death in the past couple of months. And let's talk about a signing that St Mirren have made. Jamaican international Richard King, who has joined the Buddies on a 2-year deal from Cavalieri in his homeland. Now, it's an option of a further year for the 23-year-old, and they say the deal is subject to a medical and visa approval. But I think this is what you want to see from St Mirren, or just any team, man, whoever you support. See, signing somebody that's an international is always decent. Now, it doesn't mean, I mean, yeah, you know what, St Mirren could raid San Marino, right, and sign their starting 11. I wouldn't be giving it the same amount of praise, but Jamaica are a decent nation. I'm not going to sit here and pretend they're as bad as San Marino, but, you know, they're also as good as, like, Argentina or a nation like that. But I think it's going to be a decent signing for St Mirren. Now, apparently, St Mirren have also signed Adewui and Phillips permanently from Shrewsbury Town and Crystal Palace, so they've added those two with Richard King, so that's 3 signings. Stephen Robinson also pointed out that they've tracked King for a long time. He has progressed really well under Steve McLaren and the Jamaican national team. He's quick, he's strong, and he's a project for us all, as well as a step in the level. So, what do you make of that? Steve McLaren, right? He's the Jamaican manager. Did you know that? Mr.
No,
Umbrella
I
Man.
did not. Could not have told you that.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. We think that's a good signing for St Mirren. Jamaican international, big king. Will he be the king of kings? Can he take the Paisley club to winning things? Oh,
I mean, Jamaica, it's not the best national team, but it's not the worst either.
nice. So it's good to have a few caps under his belt, isn't it?
Absolutely, man.
That's it, guys. Now moving on to other news. So, of course, Hamza Gamani. Now, according to Football Insider, Everton and West Ham could take a gamble on launching a bid for Rangers striker Hamza Igamani. I feel like these articles just get fired out about Hamza Igamani every week. Until I see a concrete bid, man, I don't think there's really much more to say on that. But Celtic, right? So, there's talk about Celtic going for Robertson again, because obviously Robertson's linked with that move to Atletico Madrid. But according to Team Talk, the only way Celtic would sign Robertson is if essentially he became available for a free or close to hee-haw. But it's pointed out that Celtic can't afford his wages. But as you talked about yesterday, if Andy Robertson wants to join Celtic, he's made his money. He could very easily say, you know what, I don't need 300 grand a week or whatever I'm on at Liverpool. I don't really know if he's on that, right? But that's just me hazarding a guess. Point is, Celtic aren't going to pay whatever Liverpool are paying him. But if he truly cared about Celtic and he wanted to play for them, it's not an impossible ask. He could do it if he wanted to. But we'll have to wait and see what he does. But in terms of a guy that could definitely be playing for Celtic, Discussions have progressed well on Monday as Celtic aim to sign Albirex Nagita centre-back Hayato Inamuru, with the 23-year-old keen to join the
That was
Scottish
pretty good
champions.
pronunciation, that.
It was, wasn't
It
it?
was, aye.
That's no bad, but I mean the hype here is that he's like 5'10", 5'11". Oh, that's no big enough for a centre back.
Carter Vickers isn't the biggest centre back. Is he only 5'11"?
I think he's 6 foot.
Nah, I don't know. I think he's 5'11". I think he actually might be 5'10".
You know what though? Yo, I think it is better for centre backs to be like tall, but there's been some shites tall centre backs.
Well, absolutely.
You know, I mean, we're not talking about a guy that's 5'4". At the end of the day, I think someone pointed out that like Baresi was 5'8". You can either defend or you can't. Height's fucking irrelevant to a degree. I mean, yeah, if you're a 4 foot man running a bit, then that's a no go zone. But Celtic still dipping into the Japanese market. I guess it's worked well for them over the years. I guess but
has it though? I think.
What about Kobayashi? That's a shite signing.
Yeah, I know. Look, it worked initially, but I mean, after the famous trio of Kyogo, Maeda, and Hatate, and that was the first three that they brought in. And I believe they also brought in Kobayashi, came in, didn't they?
Ideguchi.
Was it? Ideguchi, he was the one.
Glasgow United legend.
Aye, what a guy. No, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Ideguchi was the third of that trio to be signed. I'm pretty sure it was, I think it was Maeda.
That's his contract getting ripped up there.
Pretty sure it was Maeda, Hatate, and then in the January transfer window, and then last of the three was Ideguchi, and Kyogo obviously signed in, and before the summer transfer window ended. Which, to be fair, seeing you actually think about it, what a job Ange did to still be in that title race come January. Because, I mean, a lot of people talk about how Hatate, Maeda, and Kyogo were the ones that won Celtic. But yeah, but you didn't get Maeda and Hatate until the second half of the season.
Yeah.
You think about that team that Ange was playing with in the first half, it was pretty shite.
Was pretty shite.
Minus like one or two additions. But yeah, I think outside of that first trio, it's not been great since then. Like you said, Ideguchi flopped, Kobayashi flopped, Awata flopped. All right, Kwon and Yang are Korean, but let's be honest, they've flopped as well.
Yeah, they've not been that good, definitely. Wasn't that good.
No, and that's probably a good thing. Cause
also, you look at like Telio from, I mean, it's kind of Ange's like
that area, the Asian area. Yeah, it's a good job for you that they weren't all as good as the original three, because
might be fucking a harder task, wouldn't it?
Aye.
Fuck it! No, I forgot. No, you forgot. Aaron Moy, he was all right. That's another guy for the same kind of area.
Yeah, but I know, I get what you're saying, like, but he was already known to British football. Like, the guy was playing in the English Premier League and that.
True. Right.
I wouldn't really say, like, the rest of them were kind of like captured from that side of the world. Aaron Moy was already over here.
Good day, mate.
Not like he plucked him out of fucking
Foster's good call.
It was a good call to bring him in.
It was a good call. That chip against St Johnson. That's what I remember from Aaron Moy.
Aaron Moy was a weird player. At times he could look fucking shite, and other times
he was
looked
above the league.
It was very strange, Aaron Moy.
It's weird. Anyway, that's it. 17th of June. That's it. Done. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. European second round gets announced. Who do you think they're all going to get then?
I'm going to keep my cards close to my chest here, and I will reveal my sources tomorrow.
I like it. I like it. Could there be any? I don't think can there be any battles of Britain tomorrow? I'm not convinced there can be.
Apparently, for it to be a battle of Britain, you need to win your league.
Well, maybe when Celtic crash out of the the Champions League qualifiers, they can take on Liverpool in the Europa League then.
Fucking Tottenham United. That was almost a relegation battle. What do you call that? A battle of shite or something like?
Aye.
Shite Britain. Battle of Shite Britain. Is it Great Britain? No. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to end it here.
That's plenty!